Sagaji TV.
Sagaji TV, Sagaji TV, Sagaji TV. It's anime overview time, and that's when I take a select few anime and, give a brief discussion on it in my opinion. We're starting off today with, this one is not a series, but this one is a movie. Before I get started, I just want to rep my LocBomb.com, check them out. But first we're starting off with an anime called A Silent Voice. Now this isn't a series, this was a movie. Now, this was such a, I don't want to use the term cute, but inspirational, emotional, I wonder, most likely this show won awards. Okay, so The Silent Voice is very heartstringy. That's a good word for it. So Silent Voice is an anime about middle school kids, either elementary or middle school kids. There was this one boy and this one girl. This one girl was deaf. She couldn't hear. She wore hearing aids and everything else growing up. There was this little boy, for some reason, he was like a pure bully. All he did was pick on that little girl all through their little elementary time. It was either elementary or middle school. He picked on her and bullied her. And it did something to her. I think eventually she left school. Her parents was poor. Like her hearing aids, he would steal them and break them and destroy them and all kinds of stuff, right? Now, fast forward, she ends up leaving the school. He grows up, and for some reason, he changes. Like he wants to become a better person. And what he did to that little girl when he was a kid always didn't feel right to him. So much so that he attempted to learn sign language because it didn't feel right in his soul. It messed with him growing up. And one day, as they're older in high school, he bumps into her. And he's like, oh my goodness, that's her. I can finally apologize to her. I can finally show her how sorry I am. But when she sees him, she's like, oh no, he's coming to tear my world apart. So that's what that anime is about. So I've seen the anime that movie 2 or 3 times. It's something else. It's not your typical anime. It's all about love, or it's about some kind of superpower or something like that. It's a very realistic type of anime. If only bullies today had that mindset. I want to be better and redeem myself and ask for forgiveness and seek forgiveness for the things or wrongdoings I did. This world would be a better place. The next one I want to talk about is the Promised Neverland. What can I say about this one? I remember when I saw the very first episode. This is one of those anime that will make you rethink the world. Basically, the general census was there were human farms. And when you're like human farms, like cattle and all that, yes, like human farms for people. Not just any people, but kids. So basically the world it's not even technically the whole world, but it's half the world. Okay, let's look at it like that. Half the world is run by humans. The other half of the world is run by monsters. Human eating monsters. Now these monsters and humans have this pact or treaty. Basically, you stay on your side of the world, we stay on ours. And just don't come over here, we won't go over there. But mind you, again, these monsters eat humans. So what they do, they create human farms in the monster communities where they raise humans to eat them. The humans, now, they have a specific taste. Specifically, they like brains. And the smarter the kid, the better the taste in the brain? Something like that. What happens is, at some point, these kids are smart. They figure this out. Now, these farms, they don't know they're farms. They thinking they're orphanage. They thinking that they're being adopted out. But really, the one that gets adopted is actually going to get eaten. Just one day, one of the littlest girls is getting adopted, and one of the oldest girls is like, she was one of my favorite little girls. I want to see her goodbye. I don't want her to go yet. So she runs out to go say her final last words to her little friend. and just so happen to watch her little friend get killed and eaten, then that's the game changes. Oh snap. This is something completely different. And the thing is, the head mom, the one who's taking care of the orphanage, she knows all. She knows everything that goes on. And it's crazy, man. It's something crazy. I've seen it. It does get a little wonky towards the middle and end, but it's still a good show, man. Check it out. Dang it, now I want to rewatch it. At least what I really want to do is watch it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go rewatch it. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna rewatch that. So the next one, let me see. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is Fruit Basket. Fruit Basket, I know Fruit Basket is considered like one of those, not cult classics, but a real classic in the anime community. And the thing is, I watched Fruit Basket 1, I've watched Fruit Basket 2. Fruit Basket is about the Zodiacs, and this girl stumbles upon basically the Zodiac family, and how there's a cat Zodiac, but he's not really a Zodiac, but he is a Zodiac, and it's not really my vibe, to be honest. The girl is homeless somehow. It's just like, was her parents died or something? I'm just like, in the world of anime, I get it. They're trying to push the storyline, but I'm like, in the world of anime, do parents not exist? Do social workers not exist? Do the government not get involved when kids have nowhere else to go? No families or whatever? But yeah, it's not really my vibe. However, I've seen both season 1, season 2, and all that stuff. Not my favorite type of anime. Not my favorite anime. The next one I want to get into, I'm trying to wrap this up, is I'm looking up the anime as I go, because sometimes I forget. Okay, The Disastrous Life of Saki. Okay, so this is one of those animes that you just put on in the background. You watch it all the way through one good time, and you tune in, you tune out, you tune in, tune out, because it's not an anime you should be taking seriously. It's an anime just for fun. Kind of reminds me of Mob Psycho 100, but in the end, it don't quite remind me of Mob Psycho 100. I'm gonna talk about that one next, but because there's no drive. Basically, he's a psychic, one of the most powerful psychics in the world, but it's very a one-dimensional character. Yep, with one-dimensional side cast. It's just basically every day, let's see what shenanigans we can get into kind of vibe. And he's kind of like, I don't care for shenanigans. All I care about is pudding, coffee pudding, or something like that. And it's one of those like, yeah. And it got a season 2. It went to season 1, got a season 2. And it's one of those, it's like, you take it or leave it. It's not nothing to write home about. Mob Psycho 100 or 10 or 100. That one's got a not similar vibe, but similar structured show. He's a psychic, one of the most powerful ones in the world. But he doesn't have very much confidence in himself. He's very much a school nerd. He got him a little side job. His boss knows that he's a real psychic. He uses his ability. His boss runs a psychic agency, but the boss isn't psychic at all. He uses Mob, but at the same time, he cares about Mob. There's an actual storyline going on. Like, oh, there's bad guys. We got to defeat this. So Mob is better, but the characters are not similar in that Mob got layers to him. Like, on the surface, he looked like he might be one-dimensional, but no, he's got layers to him. So Mob is definitely better than Saki or Saki K. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna end it here. Sagaji TV, Sagaji TV, Sagaji TV.